The Lord is thy shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I RASTA, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno preparate a table before I, in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with uno oil. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I life. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah can my way. How my house of Bolisa I don't water. It was simply a four. Our time you my oh you all done. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Sadaqallahu azim. Jumma Mubarak. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunemo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Again, here we are not neutral because we have taken sides. Oh yes. And is the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. In my name, Black Rasta. Now in every traditional African home there is a Blakk Pot. And each time this Blakk Pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the Blakk Pot where they are subjected to some really good amount of heating. At the end of the day, they produce sumptuous food in all its palatability for the nourishment of the family in its whole entirety. That is what we literally do here. We pick up ideas from all walks of life, all and sundry, the rank and file of our people, right from the soles of their feet all the way up to the crowns of their heads. And this is what we use. Oh yes, for the development of our people, our continent, our land. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonamo. And here we speak truth to power. We are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. And of course, you can find us on Instagram. Also on X, formerly called Twitter. And on TikTok, we keep ticking and talking with the gracious hands of patriotism. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonamo. And here we speak truth to power. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are more than just excited to do that. This is the Blakk Pot. Please share the broadcast so many more people can be part of this and recommend us to family and friends. Today, we have something truly interesting as usual. Come along if you're ready. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonamo. And at this point, I want to say thank you so much to our sponsors. Oh, thank you so much to Tesori D'Oriente. And when we talk about Tesori D'Oriente, we are turning every single shower into a royal experience. Now, this shower gel is more than just a shower gel. It's gone beyond that. Now, a little bit of Tesori D'Oriente right in the middle of your palm. Shake up the bath water. Oh, it becomes a rich ladder of foam. And it nourishes your skin and keeps it glowing like the morning sun. And as for the fragrance, it's the fragrance of the Garden of Eden. Original, no copy. This is Tesori D'Oriente. And when you deal with Tesori, you know that for 48 hours and beyond, oh yes, the fragrance is all around you. You smell good. Your skin is well nourished and the skin glows. Now, Tesori d'Oriente comes in so many different flavors. And I like to call that fragrances because they are natural. It is Italian technology coupled with African raw materials. And this marriage gives you nothing but premium quality made affordable to you. Tesori d'Oriente comes in several fragrances. Which is your favorite? Is it the Ikigai? Maybe it's the Karma. Maybe the Forest Therapy or the Royal Oud. Maybe the Persian Dream. Whatever your personal favorite is, it represents you to the maximum. 48 hours and beyond of good fragrance around you. Walk out in confidence. And any interview you attend, call me back and tell me you passed. They didn't ask you anything except what fragrance you are wearing. My brother, my sister, from the Garden of Eden, this is the Tesori d'Oriente. If you are an Eve, time now to find your Adam. And if you are an Adam, time now to find your Eve. This time round, we have taken the apple away so you can continue to be in this beautiful garden. Tesori d'Oriente. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And Tesori is distributed in Ghana by the kind courtesy of Daddy Ash. And when we talk about Daddy Ash, we are talking about quality. Now, Daddy Ash Limited, for bulk purchases and inquiries, call 0244 772599. That is 0244 772599. Thanks so much to Tesori d'Oriente. We appreciate you and we love you. And at this point, my brother, my sister, I want to also say thank you so much to Millennium Insurance. And when we talk about Millennium Insurance, we're talking about your trustworthy partner. Nobody is a reserve of calamity. Calamity can hit anyone. That is why we say in Jamaica, when it rains, it don't fall on one man roof alone. My brother, my sister, everybody and anybody at any time can be visited by calamity. It could be natural or human-made. Maybe it's a flood. Maybe it's a fire. Maybe it's a tsunami. Maybe it's a volcanic eruption. Maybe even an earthquake. My brother, my sister, in these times, you need to have a trustworthy partner. And that is Millennium Insurance. Maybe it's a car accident. No matter what kind of calamity you face, it could even be a disability or maybe death. No problem at all. Millennium Insurance is here to get you covered as your trustworthy partner. My brother, my sister, motor policy insurance, no problem. Yes, motor insurance policy. I'm talking about Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. Be it third party or comprehensive, no problem at all. And home and allied perils insurance, no problem. It's Millennium Insurance. And we are all over Ghana. In Sunyani, you would find us right there in Takoradi, Koforidua, Accra, Kumasi, no problem at all. Tamale, just make sure that you pick up our numbers, call us, and let us get you insured. Remember, it's not every insurance that is an assurance. Some of it may look like a plaster, but it is a disaster. Make sure that you go for Millennium Insurance and visit our sales portal at sales.millenniuminsurancegh.com. And everything is everything. Thanks so much to Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner. We appreciate you and we love you. And that is my insurance. I want to also say thank you so much to Lemfi. Now, when we talk about Lemfi, take it serious. If it is not Lemfi, don't send it. Now, Lemfi is well registered in the UK and beyond. Now, Lemfi is more than just authentic. Lemfi is African. Lemfi is doing a lot of developmental work in so many communities right here in Ghana. That is why I am a proud Lemfian. My brother, my sister, where are you sending money to Ghana from? Is it Canada or from the United States of America? I'm going to give you $20 back. 20 Canadian dollars or 20 American dollars, depending on where you're sending it from and in what currency. Okay? Now, if you are a first-time sender, download the app Lemfi from the App Store. Right after that, get ready to send $100 Canadian or American and even more. And I give you $20 back, Canadian or American. Okay? But you must remember to use the referral code 1RASTA. Rasta bakupe. Mpese bakupe. Rasta ekomepe. My brother, my sister, yes, and once you use it, 1RASTA, that is all. You get what is known as the cash back. And that is the referral code you see there on your far right. 1RASTA. My brother, my sister. Now, if you're sending money from the UK in British pounds, or maybe from any part of Europe in euro, I give you 10 euros back or 10 British pounds back if you send up to 100 pounds or euro. And a first-time sender, go through the same process. Yes, download the app Lemfi from the App Store, and everything is everything. Now, Lemfi has made it so easy. You don't have to run to a certain building, queue after sweating, sit down and wait until it's your turn to send money to Ghana. Now, even in the comfort of your homes. Yes, you could even be on your farm. You could be on the WC or in the library. It's simple. Ta, 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 ta. A couple of clicks and boom, the money comes to Ghana. And it comes with the speed of lightning. Oh my God. Yes, the speed of light. My brother, my sister. And above all, you are not charged any sending fees, what we call transfer fees. And we give you one of the most competitive charges. And I'm talking about exchange rates. Yes, one of the most competitive exchange rates. You will get that. Oh Lord. And this is Lemfi. What are you waiting for? Talk to your business partners, talk to your family and friends. When they are sending you money to Ghana, it's simple. If it's not Lemfi, don't send it. Are you a Lemfian? Are you a proud one for that matter? This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo. And here we speak truth to power. Today we have 3 very important issues to look at, and I need you to come along. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, hit on the subscription button. Right after that, on the subscription, yes, I'm talking about the notification bell, and you are part of the family. You will be reminded anytime you are supposed to be watching this show. We go straight into action. If you are ready, let's get ready to rumble. Story number 1. Watch this. We don't want your money. Ablakwa dares the US. Woo! Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa is a man whose face is so popular in Ghana. Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa is the man sitting right here. My brother, my sister, he's the Foreign Affairs Minister of Ghana right now. He used to be a Deputy Minister of Education, and he has moved from one ministry to the other from when he jumped on the bandwagon of politics right here in the republic called Ghana. This is the guy. He's called Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. Now, since he took over the mantle of the Foreign Affairs Minister, he's been doing wonders. For the first time in the history of Ghana, we see a Foreign Affairs Minister traveling all the way to Latvia because one Ghanaian has been killed and he needs justice for him. We have seen him go all the way to Ukraine to visit Ghanaian captives who were soldiers fighting for Russia and trying to secure their freedom to return home in peace. For the first time, we see a very busy Foreign Affairs Minister talking a lot of Pan-Africanism and Nkrumahism. And already, I am a big fan of this bald-headed guy sitting, my brother, my sister, in this blue suit. Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. He's a guy whose dossier will interest you. Run the dossier, my youth. And it is interesting. Watch this. Now, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa was born on the 11th day of August in 1980. So that gives him 45. In August, he's going to be 46. And he's a prominent Ghanaian politician, currently serving as the Minister for Foreign Affairs under the administration of John Dramani Mahama. He's a member of the NDC, and he has represented North Tongue constituency in the Volta region as a member of parliament since 2013. He's an MP and a minister. Now he's a foreign affairs minister, appointed last year, 2025. And whilst in opposition, he was a big fat thorn in the flesh of the opposition. Oh my God. And he was, in fact, a very nice spectacle to watch every time he spoke on TV and on radio. He investigated all the travels of the then president, Akufo-Addo, and exposed all the rot in that aspect. My brother, my sister, he is the chairman of the anti-corruption drive, Operation Recover All Loot, and above all, he's a 4-term legislator who previously served as the ranking member of Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee from 2017 all the way to 2024. This is Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. Of course, he was Deputy Minister for Education, as you were told, and then also Deputy Minister for Information in different regimes. My brother, my sister, he was appointed at the young age of 28, making him the youngest in Ghana's 4th Republic at the time. Yes, whilst he was in school, he was the president of the National Union of Ghana Students, NUGS. Yes, from 2025 to 2026. And many people have said that Okujeto Ablakwa has never worked since he left school except to jump on the bandwagon of politics. But today we debunk that. In fact, before national politics, he was the managing director of Servi Solutions, a communications firm. Oh my God. And he became the youngest minister at the age of 28. Dash it away. This is Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. Come here. Now watch this. Now Okujeto Ablakwa is in New York with the president of the Republic of Ghana. The president went there to achieve 2 very important things. One, eluded him, but all the pride came back to him. Lincoln University decided to cancel a doctorate award they were going to give to him, all because they said that he was supporting a certain animal in the Ghanaian parliament called the anti-gay bill. They did not have the courtesy to approach the president or even the embassy to discuss it. They just took an arbitral decision based on one group's concerns, a gay group, one gay group. But the president, with pride, has shamed the Lincoln University. The whole world is laughing at Lincoln University because this guy here has never been a homophobe. In fact, he actually has friends who are gays. He is not a discriminating president. One of the presidents we have had in Africa who would open their doors to almost every Tom, Dick, and Harry, every Mansa, Kwekupum, and Kwame. This is the guy we are talking about, John Dramani Mahama. Now he went to the UN and continued the fight for reparations. My brother, my sister, and when he arrived and spoke, he had a strong, long-lasting standing ovation. He called for slavery to be seen as the gravest crime against humanity, the most serious. How many countries voted? Out of the 190 plus members of the UN, over 120 voted for John Dramani Mahama's motion. Watch the dose here. My brother, my sister. And that's it. A total of 123 countries voted in favor of the March 25, 2026 UN resolution declaring the transatlantic slave trade the gravest crime against humanity. Now, the voting bloc for the Ghana-led resolution was primarily composed of nations from the global south, including strong support from the African Union, CARICOM, member states, and several major Asian and Middle Eastern powers. Now, those who voted in favor included Ghana from Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Benin, and even more. Flip, my brother, my sister, all these countries voted for the motion. My brother, my sister, the Caribbean and the Americas joined. Asia and the Middle East, including China, India, Indonesia, Pakistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the Philippines joined. Russia was also part of it, but some abstained. How many countries abstained? 3. United States of America, Israel, and Argentina. And we told you why. My brother, my sister, in all, 123 nations voted for the motion. And 52, a whooping 52, decided to stay away and abstain for obvious reasons, which we brought to you yesterday. A lot of them were so much involved in the slave trade, like England, like the Netherlands, like France, and all those countries that shamelessly stayed away from the vote because it will criminalize them. It is a scar on their minds. My brother, my sister, dash it away. Now, it's been accepted by the UN and beyond that slavery is the gravest crime ever meted out to humanity. Now, one of the reasons America gave for abstaining is that we shouldn't put crimes in a hierarchy. The hierarchical definition or order of crimes will look down on some crimes and make it look like some crimes are smaller than others. My brother, my sister, it was debunked, and we made it clear right here. Every kind of crime in the world today happened under slavery. We were killed, brutalized. My brother, they stole from us at gunpoint. And when we complained, they shot and killed us in cold blood. When they even took us away and were trying to escape into freedom, they cut off our feet. Sometimes they chained us and put us in rooms without food and killed us in hunger. We remember all that. My brother, my sister, there is no sin on earth today that did not happen under slavery. They sodomized us. They raped us. My brother, they did all kinds of evil to us. So when we say it is the gravest crime, much as we are putting it on a certain hierarchy, we are just trying to make it emphatic. Well, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa came out. President Mahama was whisked away, and journalists approached the foreign affairs minister right there at the UN, and he was ready to talk to journalists. He answered some questions, and these questions were so interesting. Whilst he was answering the questions, he caught my attention. He said, tell them we don't need their money. We don't want their money. We are okay. But what suggestion did he give to America for daring to say that to give money to Africa in reparations, who would it go to? Those who suffered and died, or those who are in Africa right now who did not even see anything concerning slavery? What an insult. Okujeto Ablakwa spoke. Watch this.
Among those that voted against the resolution was the United States. Were you disappointed by that vote? And also, if you can comment on those that abstained, more than 50 nations. How do you feel about those? Thank you.
So I would like to comment on the reasons they gave. They sought to create the impression that the time for negotiations has been short. The President of Ghana served notice last year in September when he delivered his address at the 80th session of the General Assembly. Immediately thereafter, we put together a broad-based coalition, including experts, academics, researchers, historians from all regions of the world, and we commenced negotiations. In the history of the United Nations, this has been a resolution that has gone through so many rounds of consultations. And even the duration for this consultation, each consultation, the standard practice at the UN is that it takes 1.5 hours. We allocated 3 hours, twice the time, and had multiple rounds of negotiations. So there are some that to us, it is clear that even if we gave them 50 years, they would say that the time is not enough. But we can no longer wait. September, we will be commemorating 100 years since the last slavery was abolished. 100 years. And yet there has been no justice. A whole century. So we cannot keep waiting for those who do not want to reckon, who do not want to come to the table with urgency and with acknowledgement that this is a matter that can no longer be swept under the carpet. So we disagree with the notion that there was no time for negotiations. Secondly, the claim they have made that we are seeking to create a hierarchy of crimes. We have stated clearly that it is not about hierarchy. We are only speaking to a historical fact. Never in the history of mankind have we had such a systemic crime. We took over 3 centuries, more than 300 years, with its consequences still lingering unto this day, manifesting in racism, in structural inequality. So we are talking about the contextual framing of what has happened, not about ranking crimes. And we made that very clear. So we are clear in our minds that some are just deliberately stonewalling and introducing red herring. But what is fundamental, which nobody can deny, is that more than 12.5 million people were forcibly removed from the continent. More than 3 million people died, were tossed into the transatlantic ocean, which is a mass grave site. And in our country, Ghana, we are currently, UNESCO has certified that, the country with the highest number of slave forts and castles. We are living witnesses on a daily basis when we go into those castles and forts and we see the door of no return. We break down. My daughter Indiva, on an excursion only last week, broke down and asked me, "Daddy, what did we do wrong? And why has there been no justice?" I had no answers for my 14-year-old daughter. So we live with these experiences on a daily basis, and we live with the structural consequences. And that is what this is about. All those other matters about ranking, about time, about more space for negotiations, we believe that they are just red herrings, and it is not a demonstration of good faith so far as the pursuit of justice in this matter is concerned.
One of the key reasons raised by the United States for which reason they are abstaining is the lack of clarity on who is the recipient of the reparatory justice. What is your response to that?
That is surprising because we have in this resolution talked about frameworks which will put in place that will take care of the consequences. We all know that the consequences of the transatlantic slave trade has been the lack of opportunity, discrimination, the degradation of people of color, So we have said, let's have frameworks that will serve as endowment funds to support education, to support empowerment, to support skills training, capital for entrepreneurs, and all of that. And we have made clear that African leaders or Caribbean leaders are not looking for money. It goes against our conscience to seek to profit from this. We don't want any payments made to us directly. We are talking about courses to deal with the structural inequalities. And we are also talking about the return of artifacts to the continent. It's all in the resolution. There are thousands of artifacts from Egypt all the way to the Ashanti Kingdom in Ghana. Those artifacts should not be returned on piecemeal as and when those who are in custody of those artifacts are in a good mood. So we have outlined what must be done and to whom these redress should be addressed to. So again, it is totally wrong for a claim to be made that there is no clarity about who benefits from reparatory justice.
My brother, my sister, you heard him so clearly. America is only pussyfooting. Europe is stonewalling. Ablakwa made it clear. If you tell us you don't have enough time, you have not been given enough time to sit on this. From September, the president of the Republic of Ghana, the president of the country that has the most faults in the whole of the world, attributed to slavery. More slaves from Africa were carried through the ports of Ghana more than any other port. Not even Wida, not Dahomey. No, right here in Ghana. We have the most forts, slave forts. So it is not surprising that we who feel it, know it, and we are carrying this to the people out there. For about 100 years, in September will be 100 years since slavery was abolished in one way or the other. We've still not been able to deal with the slavery issue. When again do you want to sit? How much more time do you need? But we all remember that in September, as Honorable Ablakwa said, President Mahama was at the UN, the ATF sitting, and he spoke to the people of the world about the same issue. What did he say? Watch this.
Madam President, the slave trade must be recognized as the greatest crime against humanity. As the African champion on reparations, Ghana intends to introduce a motion in this August body to that effect. More than 12.5 million Africans were forcibly taken against their will and transported to create wealth for the powerful Western nations. We must demand reparations for the enslavement of our people and the colonization of our land that resulted in the theft of our natural resources, as well as the looting of artifacts and other items of cultural heritage that have yet to be returned in total. We recognize the value of our land and the value of our lives, as did our colonizers, as well as the governments that happily paid reparations to former slave owners as compensation for the loss of their property in quotes, and that property for which they received compensation was paid referred to enslaved people who had been freed.
My brother. President Mahama made it clear, very clear. Former slave owners were paid reparations too for losing their property. What was the property? Us. When slavery was abolished, a lot of slave owners said, no, you are destroying our businesses. We have spent a lot of money bringing these people all the way from Africa. When we abolish slavery and set these people free, we are going to lose our merchandise, our chattels. And they said, okay, we will pay you. Come with your slaves. Tell us how many slaves you have. Free them and we'll pay you. And we were the chattels. We were the merchandise. We were the people who were their goods. But we who suffered have never been compensated in one way or the other. And you heard the president say, and some people erroneously put in their heads, oh, they shouldn't give the money to African leaders, corrupt African leaders, they will blow up the money. It's clear. President Mahama made it clear. We are not looking for money from you. We don't need it. Ablakwa made it clear. The resolution has made it more than just clear. We are not looking for money from you. We will not use our ancestors to inordinately cash in. We don't need it. All we are asking you for is that the money that you got, the wealth that you got, please pour that into the development of roads for the people who suffered. If our fathers and great-grandfathers were here, they would have built those roads. If you hadn't stolen our wealth, by now we would have built skyscrapers all over Africa, like our ancestors did for you. So invest in some kind of development. That's all we are asking for. And bring back the artifacts you stole, the objects that you stole, spiritual objects, bring them back. My brother, my sister, that is what reparation is all about. And many people don't understand. I hear some African Americans get into the discussion without really understanding what it is. Nobody is asking anybody for money. If slave owners said they were losing their businesses, and therefore they had to be paid to free some of us, after about 4 million were killed in just that middle passage of slavery, and many more on the slave plantation. A lot of us paid for our own freedom. We worked hard, broke our backs, and paid for our freedoms. Yet, even after we finished paying for our freedoms, they still held on to us and put a mark on us so that anywhere we went, people gunned us down like wild animals that escaped from the zoo. And we are saying, our ancestors have helped build your land. You worked them so much to death. Use your conscience. Please, look towards Africa and help in the development process of Africa. We are not begging you. We are asking you to honor our ancestors. You took them by force and brought them here. If they had stayed with us, we would have developed more than this. Remember, they took the creme de la creme of all Africans. The sick ones, they threw overboard into the sea and killed them. They left the weak ones behind. They took the strongest. And even at the slave market, they boasted that these were the strongest they brought. They used some of them as breeders. They were just supposed to have sex with women and have children who would become slaves as well, just the way you raise your animals. My brother, yes, our chiefs and kings, some of them, don't be fooled. To make it a general blanket information that our chiefs supported. How many chiefs did? My brother, people like Samori Toure, they fought so hard. My brother, my sister, against slavery and more. They fought so hard. Don't be fooled when they tell you, oh, our chiefs and kings. No, it was not a blanket kind of thing. We won't go too much into the discussion today, but the thing is very simple. We want reparation. First and foremost, apologize to us and tell us that you did something terrible to us. Your economies are today booming a lot because of our ancestors who came. You worked them without paying them ever. Number two, all the stolen items, give them back to us, not in piecemeal. We need them now. Not when you are in a good mood, then you give us two. And you dare even tell us to return those to you after some period, like they did to Asante Hene. Finally, my brother, my sister, we want some amount of investment that will come to Africa. All the countries in Africa that suffered slavery. We want that investment to touch on development, roads, infrastructure, and much more. We don't need the money. We don't need it. No. Well, in England, Belavia, Janet, Ribeiro Adi already told the people of England who still abstained from the voting and told them point blank, you know what? Don't think that we are coming to you to ask you for money. Nobody wants your money. We are only asking you for A, B, C, D, and F. She spoke for only about 2 minutes. And this was before, long before this UN sitting. Watch this.
Tomorrow, the 25th of March, is the UN's International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery in the Transatlantic Slave Trade. The Ghanaian government's resolution declaring the transatlantic slave trade as a crime against humanity, backed by the African Union, CARICOM and a growing global coalition, will be debated. Given our nation's central role in the trafficking and enslavement of African peoples, a vote against would be a betrayal of every life it consumed. This House has never debated this. How can we be certain that our UN vote reflects the will of this Parliament and, more importantly, the will of this country? Madam Deputy Speaker, how can we ensure decisions of this magnitude taken in our name receive the democratic consideration they deserve before a vote is cast?
Can I thank the Honourable Lady for her point of order? As she will know, the government conducts diplomatic relations in the United Nations under Crown prerogative. Nevertheless, she has placed her concerns on the record and the front bench will have heard them. Of course, as
my brother, my sister. This is Bell talking when Mahama arrived in America, talking to the British people to support the motion. But before this, she had spoken in the past, supporting exactly what Mahama had spoken about since September last year. I'm taking you to the British Parliament, and I need you to listen to what reparation in this sense is. Watch this.
Now, I am proud to be the daughter of Ghanaian migrants, and they're even prouder that myself and my honourable friend, the member for Erith and Thamesmead, are jointly the first women of Ghanaian heritage to sit in this House. Yeah. The support we have received from the Ghanaian community in the UK and globally has been immeasurable. Ghanaian Brits boast many notable names: Stormzy, June Sarpong, the editor of Vogue, Edward Enninful, and too many others to count. But as I'm often reminded, the most important British Ghanaian to ever walk this earth is, of course, my mum. I cite my heritage not just because it's important to me, but because it underpins my experience in this country, my country, and my fear as racism and other hate crimes are on the rise. Today we're debating global Britain. And you know, there is that saying that if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you're going. And it strikes me that as a country, we cannot begin to fulfill this idea of global Britain until we first address the historic injustices of the British Empire. Injustices including slavery and colonialism. Firstly, because it's the right thing to do, but also because we may soon find ourselves out in the cold if we don't. Madam Deputy Speaker, whilst we spent years debating Brexit, and as my friend, the member for Putney, the honourable member for Putney has said, engaged in a monumental self-harm, you know that India surpassed the UK to become the 5th richest economy in the world. India, a former British colony where this country presided over a bloody partition, the Amritsar massacre and the Bengal famine. We also see countries in Africa like Ghana, Kenya and Uganda amongst the fastest growing economies in the world. Countries that Britain deliberately underdeveloped, stole resources for and brutally enslaved its people. Madam Deputy Speaker, were you aware that in the mid to late 1700s, over 50 members of this House represented slave plantations? Members of Parliament, just like me, enslaved people that looked just like me. I'm someone who firmly believes that the only way you can tackle an issue is at its very root. And the racism which I and many others in this country face on a daily basis has its very root in these injustices. Not only will this country, my country, not apologise, and by apologise I mean properly apologise, not expressing deep regret. Not only will they not apologise, they have not once offered a form of reparations. Now, people see reparations as some kind of idea of handing over large sums of money, but why could we not start with it today? Simple things like fairer trade. Simple things like returning items that do not belong to us. And simple things like cancelling debts that we have paid over and over again. And I believe the reason for this, Madam Deputy Speaker, is because we only apologise to our equals. We only make amends with our equals. So I have to ask, how can I be equal to every other member in this House when this is how this House treats people that look just like me?
My brother, my sister, Belavia Janet Ribeiro Adi, born to Ghanaian parents. She's British. That's what she said. And this is the yardstick for the reparation that we're looking for. All we are saying, bring back the things that do not belong to you. 2, give us fairer trade. Thirdly, cancel the debts that we have paid over and over, recurrently, recurring every time. We have paid these debts recurringly. And now we want the debts cancelled. You loan us our own money. And we keep paying and paying and never finish paying. What kind of slavery is this? And she said something that touched me so deeply. She said, we are asking for an apology. Not, oh, we deeply regret this. Now, proper apology. And if you can't apologize to us, then I don't see what you are and who you are when we sit together in the same parliament. Now, she nailed it when she said, Britain only apologizes to its equals. If this was America, they would have apologized long ago. If this was Spain, fast apology. If this was Canada, fast apology. But because this is Africa, who cares about Africa? It's deep what she said. I don't want to prolong this. The president has made us all proud, and Ablakwa has been bold enough, taking a few ideas from the resolution that was tabled. And remember, he told us they brought professionals and historians together to be able to put that together. My brother, my sister, we don't need your money. We don't want it. All we want is reparations. It's a way to say repair. How do you repair? Start by an apology, and the rest, as tabled down, would follow suit. Thanks so much to Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, and the biggest will go to all those who voted for this motion And those who abstained, shame on you. It will continue to be a big scar on your mind. And those who decided to vote against it, it will be an albatross around your necks till thine kingdom comes. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. When we return, we have 2 more stories. Hey-ya! Hey-yo!
Sometimes you just need a moment for yourself, a moment to slow down, feel the water, and let the day fade. Tesori is more than just a shower. It's a moment of pure calm, smooth, creamy, and relaxing. With forest therapy, Persian dream, royal oud, thalassotherapy, ikigai, fior di loto, and karma, all in convenient 500 milliliter bottles. There's a Tesori scent to fit every mood, every moment, every kind of you. Feel the lather on your skin. Breathe in the aroma. Let stress melt away and just enjoy the calm. You don't just feel clean. You feel refreshed, confident, and yourself. Tesori d'Oriente. Luxury is a feeling. For bulk purchases, contact Daddy Ash Limited on 0244 772599.
Tesori d'Oriente.
Blakk Pot, Kukusho.
It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushodemo, and here we speak truth to power. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you and we love you. Yes, this is the headquarters of the truth. Remember, it's the habitat of the truth. It is the address of the truth. The headquarters of the truth is also the hometown of the truth. This is the palace of the truth, the foundation of the truth. It is the truth. Please subscribe to the channel. We are called Black Empire Media, and hit on the notification button so that anytime we are on, you'll be reminded to watch. And above all, please recommend us to family and friends. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are more than excited to do that. Oh Lord. I want to say thank you so much to our sponsors. And of course, thanks so much to Tesori d'Oriente. Of course. And when we talk about Tesori d'Oriente, we're saying just one thing. All we are saying is that turn every shower into a royal experience. And I want to also say thank you so much, my brother, my sister, to Millennium Insurance. Millennium Insurance, is the insurance that you have been waiting for all this while. It is your trustworthy partner. I also thank you so much, of course, to Lemfi. If you are sending money to Ghana, from Europe, from America, and any other part of the world, if it's not Lemfi, don't send it. And if you don't use the referral code OneRASTA, Rasta Bakupe, don't send it. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushodemo, and here we speak truth to power. Story number 2. Watch this. It's finished for Abu Trica in 15 days. Now, Abu Trica, the master trickster, they say that he is not a gangster. He might just be a wangster. Oh, this guy called Abu Trica. Is he a trickster? My brother, he was born Frederick Kumi. some 27 years ago in Swedro. In fact, growing up, he wanted a good life. The youth in the area do not have too many jobs available. And he allegedly latched out to scamming. And he went into romance scam. The FBI had been watching him for a long time. And when it was time to nab him, they decided to drop the hook. And it looked like he swallowed it. He built a very beautiful mansion at Kwansa Krom on the Liberty Junction. The Trica mansion. Very beautiful. In his house, he lived like a king. On social media, oh, he flaunted cash. Bundles of hard currency. Oh my God. Trica, the master trickster. He is not a gangster. He might be a wangster. This guy called Trica. Is he a trickster? This is the guy we are talking about. Hey, Frederick Umi, my brother, my sister. Almost everybody in Swedro knew him. And the so-called game boys in Accra also knew him. So when the FBI decided to come for him, he had no way to hide. No place as shelter. His mother sells tilapia right there at the Swedro market, and his father is a carpenter. He grew up in hardship, and he decided that poverty must be a thing of the past. He went into this alleged romance scam, lying to Americans using AI images, according to the FBI, deceiving old, elderly Americans and collecting money from them in big bundles. And sadly, when these boys make the money, they don't keep quiet and spend it. They rush to the same Facebook and other social media apps to flaunt the wealth. He was seen driving exotic cars, including the one that is driven by Elon Musk. Oh my God. And then they captured him right here in Accra. My brother, my sister, right there around the airport residential areas. That was where he was picked up in an Airbnb building. We've given you all the detail. This is Trica. He was in court. Oh yes, he went to court. Our cameras were there. Yes, our cameras were there. My brother, my sister. 3FM, 3 News, TV3. My brother, my sister. The cameras were there. He was there. He went there, my brother, my sister. And in court, what happened? He was denied something that was so dear to him. His lawyers had come out to talk. They wanted to fight the extradition. The FBI wants him in America to stand trial. And the lawyers here said no. They normally would give you the opportunity to go to court and defend yourself. But it looked like it was a bad day for Trica. What happened in court? Run the doors here. My brother, my sister, Trica, the master trickster, was there. Now, he was at the Gbese District Court. And Trica's legal team, led by Oliver Baka-Vomawo, presented several key arguments to block his extradition to the United States. Number one, the 1931 treaty scope. The defense argued that The offenses cited by the U.S., specifically wire fraud and money laundering, are not expressly listed as extraditable crimes under the 1931 extradition treaty between Ghana and the U.S. 2. Domestic versus international law. They maintain that Ghana cannot use modern domestic legislation like the Extradition Act of 1960 to expand the scope of a colonial era treaty. They insisted that the extradition must strictly follow the specific list of crimes agreed upon in the original treaty. And they also said that this extradition was politically motivated. Blakk suggested that the prosecution had failed to prove the case was free from political influence, hinting at a political connection to the proceedings. And then, lack of prima facie evidence. Their legal team filed a non-case submission claiming the prosecution had not provided sufficient evidence to establish a basic case, that's a prima facie, against him that will justify sending him to another jurisdiction. Constitutional rights. The defense also highlighted potential violations of Abu Trica's rights under Article 14(2) of the 1992 Constitution, specifically regarding his right to legal counsel during initial questioning by security agencies. So what did the court say? The presiding judge, Nana Akosua Pia Godfried Anefi Jesse, dismissed these objections, ruling that the alleged crimes are indeed extraditable. Abu Trica has since been granted a 15-day window to file an appeal at the High Court to challenge the decision. After 15 days, stash it away. Abu Trica might just be on his way to America. According to the FBI, he has stolen over $8 million American dollars belonging to old, vulnerable, elderly American people. And it will just be time to serve justice to these people. His lawyers have tried as much as possible to keep him right here. Oliver Barker Vomawo is a guy everybody knows. That's him. He decided on his own, elected himself to defend Abu Trica pro bono. As it stands right now, they also argued that a lot of the properties that were said to be in the name of Abu Trica did not actually belong to him. And therefore, those should be defrozen and be given to their rightful owners. Abu Trica has 15 days to make a case that he doesn't want to be extradited. Remember what we told you. Where it stands now, I don't see anything legal that can hold Abu Trica back. His Swedro supporters were there as usual with placards. They were all over the place in court. We told you our cameras were there. They were there. They danced. Security was heavy. FBI is so interested in this issue. Same as the case of Kofi Boat, Inusa, and the rest of them. That remix. And you see the placards there. Free Abu Trica. Bloggers were also there, doing their own thing. My brother, my sister, Abu Trica was in court. And this time round, look at the heaviness of the security. Abu Trica, oh my God, his case has been dismissed that he can be extradited to the United States. Now they've given him only 15 days to pull himself out of this, or else he will sit in the next plane, same way Kofi Boat and the others did. And 2 weeks from now, Abu Trica might just be flying up in the heavens, going to America to stand trial. Our prayer is that justice will be served. It doesn't matter where. As long as justice is served, justice will continue to remain justice. Dash it away. It's a black pot. AKA Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. When we return, we have a final story. Hey ya! Hey you! Wayo! It's the black pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. Thank you so much for joining us. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Thank you. We appreciate you. Final story. Story number 3. Watch this. Mahama stops raw cocoa beans exportation. What a man. John Dramani Mahama is the president of the Republic of Ghana. He became president when his boss, John Evans Atta Mills, passed on. And as the vice president, he jumped into his shoes to complete his tenure. And he stood on his 2 feet again and won the elections. But when he tried to come for his final term, Ghanaians said he hadn't done enough, so they kicked him out. And he went away. He tried to come again. It was impossible. For 8 solid years, he sat on the fence, basking in the hot African sun, like an agama lizard. Then the time came for him when Ghanaians were so fed up by the abysmally performing Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo regime. So they kicked Bawumia and his boss, the driver and the mate, in an election that shamelessly had a huge magnitude of loss for the NPP. And I intentionally use the word shamelessly because it doesn't look like they have learned any lesson from that. They are still here defending the rot that they did for the 8 years that they were in power. It looked like if we had never had Mahama come again, the Ghanaian story would have been very incomplete in the spirit world. He came back again, and within 1 year, we saw something that had never happened in a long while. The currency started to show muscle. Unprecedentedly, it ran faster than Usain Bolt. Ghanaians started to be happier than in the days of Nana Addo and beyond. And Musa Dankwa told us that with facts statistical facts. The whole world started to look at Ghana one more time. Our passport started to gain weight again. With the Ghanaian passport, now you can fly into so many different countries without any visa, including South Africa. My brother, my sister, the Ghanaian became proud again. Oh, Jesus. Mahama was in Philadelphia and he spoke. And he remembered his very good friend, Mahama Udiaka. Mahama Udiaka. His face has gone viral all over the internet. He has become a celebrity in Ghana today. He's a cocoa farmer. And he opened his heart and spoke by the kind courtesy of 1957. This video went viral. Watch this.
Mahama jina kumekale se wontuo ni ye Mahama ene se won kre dey entui kache onu ata ne se wo de yaka uchu mutan wo de yaka ya badam kata Mahama se Ghana for Yani akotu aba. Ya akotu aba yekuta 31 million. Mahama bejina wakati say 30 ni kura no. Iswa. Na kaye ma enu kwanya ma ne be president no a akoba me be 40 anya 60 million. Enu de ye fa ne kwa. And I have to thank you. Tete bana ana wana wo so gunu nu a wo mele en obi abatu adai ye mudu ena me hwani din ana me ka de papa we Ghana wo mu hwani ye o papa we wa president wo pen kunu do di ka be we ye pen ana wo we dai ana obato bu tete ana that 31 there ya ni anzo ana Ghana for you kukuru ne dey e bai ewi e na oh papa nyame aboa asumdie dey enkan what there what about Ghana so biem sune na the Ghana ko reality dey wo waso ye dey
Mahama Udiaka. Much as it is painful, there's some kind of hilarity in this. And the bit of comic relief in how he presented this message helped the message because it went viral. And the president, all the way in Pennsylvania, decided to pay homage to this gentleman. And that was when he told us something that we will never forget. Can I take you to Philadelphia? Watch this.
Incident with cocoa, with the prices plummeting, and you see all the videos of Mahama Udiaka of cocoa farmers protesting in the cocoa farms. And it is because for almost 70 years after we gained independence, we're still exporting raw beans to the world. I believe that what has happened in the international market should be a wake-up call for us, and that we must allocate more of our beans, and we're taking the first step to doing that. because we're changing the financing model. Before, we got the traders and others who buy the cocoa to advance the money for us to buy the cocoa from our farmers. Now we say we're going to raise the money ourselves and buy our own cocoa. And when we're taking the money from the traders to buy the cocoa from our farmers, the collateral for the money they were advancing us were the cocoa beans. And so once you bought the cocoa beans, it was the collateral for the financing they gave you. So now, if we raise our money, we buy our own cocoa. Our cocoa is not collateral to anybody. And so we can decide what to do with it. And we're saying that we're going to allocate the bulk of our cocoa to the local processors to process that cocoa before we export it.
Mahama himself is a cocoa farmer. He says he has several acres of cocoa on farms. I am excited. Now we are going to process our own beans in its whole entirety. Like Burkina Faso is telling us that no Burkina tomatoes will leave the shores of the country unprocessed. Mahama says the same for our cocoa, and I'm excited. Ghana cocoa is the best cocoa in the world. The legend, if that's a big word, there's history, if that's another big word, the story behind our cocoa is unique to us. Our cocoa was not only spiritual, it was also traditional, a huge heritage for us as a people. How many people see Ghana cocoa and the first thing that comes into your mind is, this is a cultural product. It's our heritage. It's our DNA. That's how our cocoa was given to us. Through tetekwashi and more. Now we would eat more Ghana chocolate. Now, the golden tree chocolate will be made in abundance. And the countries that have been looking up to us to give them raw cocoa beans, the days are over. Thanks for doing business with us. It's been nice doing business. Now it's time to allocate the beans to the locals to take it through this and give to the rest of the world. In fact, if we market our chocolate well, not even the Swiss chocolates will match our quality. If they want, let them come from Switzerland. Build the cocoa chocolate factories here at our rates, at our beck and call, and manufacture from here. Mahama says, we are tired of sending our raw beans out there. Now it's time to deal with that here. Why did it take us so long to say no more beans going out, cocoa beans? Burkina Faso led the way with the tomatoes. Now we are followed with our cocoa, and the world would soon come cup in hand, begging us for cocoa beans. I'm telling you, because we have the best cocoa in the world. We have monopolized the cocoa trade for quality. We have underrated our cocoa for far too long. It's time now to call the shots. And I want to thank President Mahama for being this revolutionary leader. And I want to thank the world market for cocoa for taking us through the hardships. At the same time, I want to also thank my very good friend, Mahama, Udieka. In fact, he made it go viral. It put pressure on the system to be able to arrive at this much needed destination. Mahama, udiyeka, uchimutankra, udiyeka. Dash it away. It's the Blackport, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. And TI Ahmadiyya Secondary School is having a very beautiful time tomorrow, 70th anniversary. And that's my school. I encourage you to go out there and look at my school, participate in the wonderful activities. Oh my God, I can't wait to be there tomorrow. In the interim, it's been the Blackport, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are more than just excited to do that. And beyond this, can I tell you something? If you truly have a story for us, it's for free. We don't take anything for following up on stories. We are just excited doing what we are supposed to do. But if you want to do business with us, advertise your product like others are doing and getting serious results, our numbers are still on the screen. We want to thank you, we want to appreciate you. Time now to look at your comments and let your comments come in from Facebook and also YouTube. Now, Ghana played Austria. I think the game has ended. Yeah, the game has ended. It was 1-0 in favor of Austria before we started the show. And it looked like the Ghanaian team was playing good. So the World Cup will be very beautiful. And how did the game end? My brother, my sister. Fatao Adams is smiling. Maxwell Kokroko Komla says, Black Rasta, the man of the moment, I salute you. Ufuoma Holy Omoto says the great Black Rasta, more fire. Fatao Adams says fire, ya. Jason Straps says fire, ya. Ras Oko Kofi Sun Moon says come here, fire, ya. More comments coming in. Francis Answer says fire, ya. Mommy Mary says Black Rasta, I always cannot wait to listen to you because your work stands as a shining testament to the power of truth, intellect, and integrity. With remarkable eloquence and precision, you illuminate complex realities and give voice to stories that might otherwise remain unheard. Your dedication to excellence, ethical rigor, and insightful storytelling is both admirable and inspiring. The depth of your analysis and the elegance of your expression truly set you apart as a journalist of exceptional caliber. God bless you. Hold it there. Wow! Jesus have mercy. Can you see the goose pimples? Can you see that? Mommy Mary, give me permission to lift all this and design it into a very beautiful plaque. Your name would actually be put there as the author of this. And I'm going to pretend that you made it into that beautiful plaque and you presented it to me. Through utterances like this, I feel so honored. And it's an impetus. You can call it a litmus test for all these things we do. This is more than an award. Thank you so much, Mama Mary. Wow, I love this. Eric Yao Lopez Abankwa says, Black, I'm very sorry I have to watch Ghana's match with Austria. We are already down by 3-0. Our defensive-minded coach is being exposed badly. 3-0. So it ended 5-1. It's all right. It's just the first match. We're going to beat France. We'll give them 100 goals to nothing. Don't worry. It's a game of football. And Maybe they will include the DIU. Yeah, and a few other people. But it's okay. I mean, it's just the beginning. These are people who just came together, and I believe with more matches, they will be able to get more experience, okay? I don't believe in the coach at all. And I've said it time and again. But it goes beyond the coach, all right? The players, with a little bit more of some patriotism, will be able to make it happen. I support Ghana. I know Ghana will make it happen. Okay? Nana Ogumpawa says, my greetings to spiritual president Nana Obidiaba, more fire. Akanayo Zurai says, hi Blakk, bless up, watching you live from Torino, Italy. Blakk, I saw a video of Black Marian in Kumasi, and I heard that the Kumasi one is even hotter than the Tamale one, with the Tamale King Kong. Blakk, can I have the number of the Tamale King Kong, please? I'll talk to him. If he says yes, we will hit at you. In the interim, send us the request via our WhatsApp number, all right? So that we can reach you easily. Julius Wemeno says, good evening, Black Rasta. Okay. Well, comments Eric Lopez Abankwa says, so family, I am going back to see our team being tortured. I may change my decision to buy tickets to see the BS because our coach is a disgrace and a disaster. Dominic says, Blakk, Ghana 0, Austria 3 at the time, right? Kamshina Zaid said, Black Rasta, more fire. Ras Okoko Fisun Moon says, I'm sorry. I would rather watch this program than today's friendly match between Ghana and Austria. Thank you so much, Ras. Duabel Yinzor Bill says, why watching live with my entire Duabel family inside Tongo. Preparations are underway for the final funeral rites of our late father, David Duabel Tindando, a.k.a. Zanghoran, come Friday the 3rd of April for the wakekeeping at Tindando Yere, Talensi traditional area. Let them know, Salaga Lion. Well, thank you so much. We are with you in spirit, Duabel Yinzor Bill. We might not be able to come, but our spirit is with you and is going to be all right. May Daddy rest in peace. Achuvia Raymond says, watching live from Elmina Castle. But I will says, hello, Black Rasta. More comments coming in. Ras Okoko Fisun Moon says, this is the Blackport, a.k.a. Kukushodabo. Mark Romeo Ofori says, the future president Okujeto Ablakwa. Or Bedu says, come here. The Blackport, a.k.a. Kukusho Mondo Powers. Nasara Bugri says, great father with great ideas. Thank you so much, Nasara. Pate Steven says, good evening, Black Rasta. May God bless you for the good work you are doing. Waves GH says, this is the Blackport, a.k.a. Kukushodemo. And here we speak truth to power. More comments, Tom Post says, how are you doing today, my big brother Blakk? I'm good. Conscious Agbemunu Ahosu says, share. Famous Semak says, this is the Blackport. Conscious Agbemunu also says, good evening, Black Rasta. Keep the fire up. All right. And he says, fire, yabu. Neodatemil says, why will Trump side with President Mahama when Kenuforiata is seeking to be an American? Interesting. More comments? Tom Post said, but Israel is still collecting millions and millions as compensation from the German Holocaust as I am talking. But they are telling people to ignore African slavery. I wonder how much Israel will pay to Gaza and Palestine in future for the atrocities there, right? The killing every day. Interesting. Ras Okoko Fisun says, And FNS says, our mind is still in slavery, my bro. Yes, of course. And we keep working at it every now and then. That is why this show is here, okay? David J says, watching you live from Wembley, London. And he says, come here. Samuel A.O. Sunday Adedekun says, welcome, Blakk, more fire. And David J says, Black Stars team is weak. Samuel A.O. Sunday Adedekun says, my Norwegian wife is getting addicted to the palatable soup from the Blackport. We are watching from Brazil. Wow. Norwegian wife in Brazil. Which part of Brazil are you in? Thank you so much and greet your Norwegian wife for us. We love you, okay? Rap Thunder says, welcome, legendary Blakk. Stephen Jackson says, why we are live in the last day of the week Good evening, Mr. Blakk Rasta. Hope you are doing well. It's been a while. Yes, Stephen Jackson. We're happy to see you again. Rap Thunder says our country or nothing. It's all about Ghana, not individualism. We love you, legendary Blakk. And then Rap Thunder says, come here, watch this, dash it away. God bless, guide you and protect you for us, legendary. Inshallah. More comments. Henry Atia says, good evening, Blakk, and have a very nice weekend. Same to you, Henry Atia says, may the good Lord protect you, and we'll see you on Monday. Okay, my brother. Thank you. More fire, Henry Atia says. Then for Shizi Manizo, he says, we don't need this guy's money. We are happy for the little we have. May Jah bless our little money, and may he bless our President JM from George Dele, Germany, Dortmund, to be specific. And David Ngambiri says, good evening, Blakk Rasta. Charlotte Ablakwa says, Blakk Rasta, what happened to that case in Latvia? Yes, Ablakwa went in there. They were able to gather some information, and they are working on the investigation. Anytime soon, investigation should be done. They picked up a team from Ghana and also from there to work on that, including the family. Okay? Emmanuel Ania says, again, Blakk said the facts he has seen about Edubwine. There's no way he will be jailed. Yes, convicted. There, Blakk at your risk. My brother, sometimes I just wish I could tell you everything and close Blakk Empire Media and go and sleep somewhere. Because it will be unethical. It's too much. And when Blakk Rasta speaks, like you said, you doubt him at your own risk. Chris Ohini says, greetings, Blakk. If we are talking about slavery, then we must abolish the Bible in the country, because the Bible brought it. Okay? Ephesians 6, 5-9. Then John Kelly Kwanzaa says, Blakk Rasta, big up yourself. Always positive. John Q in South Florida. Salute, John Q. Tom Poe says, I will not agree with this slavery reparation because I blame our ancestors who sold their fellow Africans to white people. And that's what we keep saying. There were a lot of African kings who fought against slavery. A lot of them were also tricked that they were going to be sent for training and be brought. The few ones shouldn't mar it all for the kings. That's the point we are making, Tom Poe. Okay? As I'm talking, slavery is still going on in Africa, but this time it's our leaders themselves. I agree with you. But that doesn't mean that the right thing should not be done. Famous Semak says the Black Pot. And Tom Poe says, they did not take us by force, my dear brother. They did. They did. Please look at transatlantic slave trade 1 and 2. It came to a time when the chiefs were refusing, they were protecting people. They themselves came into the hinterlands with guns, shot us and carried us on the ship. And they carried more people that way than even our chiefs were involved. You should know the history, Tom Poe. I can give you an example. Okugwa, Kugwano, Otuba, Kugwano, Ejumako. Olauda Ikriano, they carried them as little children. They were playing in front of the chief's palace at Ejumako. And boom, was taken away. I think that was somewhere 1700. It's still fresh in our minds. Yeah, Asantua was captured and taken in there. Many more. They organized wars, tribal wars. They sponsored those. And whilst we're busily fighting, they were capturing us and taking us away. They spread propaganda, and they still do that. Look at what's happening in Israel. Look at what's happening in Iran, America. When you look into it, it's the same old tactics, the Jim Crow style that they are still using. Okay? We'll take 2 more slides and we are done for the day. Stephen Menta says, make wanna do 2 known make sanctions come hammer us. We need to be diplomatic about everything. Yes, we are diplomatic, but we don't need slavery money. We need them to be our development partners because it is just right. Our ancestors suffered for that. Michael Kuse says Ghana should save money for better things rather than waiting on the Black Star. Okay. So your heart is broken. James W. Doe, he who the cap fits, let him wear it. Bob Marley's words. And Jatabwa says, that's why Kwame Nkrumah said Africa must unite, because yesterday's tomorrow shouldn't come. And what will they use the money fee for? No, nobody's asking for money. Just come and use that in some developmental projects. That's all. Okay? Kofi Saint says, I want to know, does the USA have a military base here in Ghana? Yes, they do. Kwamla Kirikou says fire. Last one. Ras Okokofi Sunmun says Abu shouldn't quit the game. Abu couldn't quit the game. So, well, I think I'm trying to get what you mean. Abu couldn't quit the game. So the game had to quit him. Eat or be eaten, that's life. I think that's what he wanted to say. David Kujewu says, Mahama is really making Africa proud. This is the type of people Africa needs. Okay? Congratulations to all those in the same boat with Mahama. Nothing but the truth. Africans are proud now. Goody Mensa says, Black Rasta, you are the best. I really love to listen to you. May God continue to bless you for the good work you keep doing for Mama Africa and Ghana. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and we love you. It's been the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kuku Shonomo. And better luck to the Black Stars. The match ended in 5-1. Better luck. We'll make it another time. On behalf of the team here, thanks so much. We appreciate you and we love you. My name is Black Rasta. We catch you again on Monday, same time, 6 p.m. Until then, share the broadcast so many more people can see that. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't and hit on the notification button. Our numbers are still scrolling on the screen. My name is Black Rasta. I will see you. Hiya! Hiyo! Wayo! Come on!